talking away.
The world of The Last of Us Part 2 is not just infected, it is irrevocably broken. Over 25 years after Cordyceps brain infection decimated civilization, what's left of humanity isn't recovering, it is splintering. And while Ellie may carry immunity in her blood, the question we really need to ask is, does a cure even matter anymore? Let's break it down. Ellie's immunity has always symbolized hope, a beacon in the darkness. In The Last of Us Part 1, Joel's brutal choice to save Ellie and destroy the Fireflies' only hope of creating a cure was controversial because it shattered that symbol. But fast forward to The Last of Us Part 2 and the world hasn't gotten better. In fact, it has gotten worse. Ellie's blood might be rare, perhaps even unique, but even if someone could extract a vaccine, what world would it be saving? In The Last of Us Part 2, we witness firsthand how civilization has not recovered, it has devolved. Let's look at the major factions. The WLF, Washington Liberation Front, a militarized regime in Seattle that overthrew Fedra, only to become oppressive in their own right. Internally divided and violently territorial, they represent how organized resistance easily slides into tyranny. The Seraphites or Scars, a religious cult that arose after the collapse, founded by a woman whose teachings have been twisted into zealotry. Their rejection of modern technology and ritualistic violence show a regression into medieval level tribalism. Jackson's community, the most stable settlement we see, built by Tommy and Maria, but even here, peace is fragile. The cycle of revenge and trauma still infects the hearts of its people, most notably Ellie herself. Even within communities, humanity has lost its common purpose. There's no global recovery effort, no infrastructure project, no United Nations. What remains is survivalistic ideology and vengeance-fueled existence. The environmental storytelling in The Last of Us Part 2 is subtle but powerful. Cities are swallowed by nature, skyscrapers are half collapsed, overgrown with vines. Wildlife has returned, the earth is reclaiming itself. This isn't just set dressing, it's thematic. Nature doesn't wait for human redemption, it moves on. Unlike typical zombie fiction, there are no CDC bunkers or clever scientists working on the cure. In fact, the only known surgeon capable of developing one is dead, killed by Joel. Ellie may be the key, but not the door, was shattered long ago. One of the darkest revelations in The Last of Us Part 2 is this one. No one is fighting to restore humanity. Instead, they are fighting each other. Ellie isn't out hunting for researchers or rebuilding society. She is chasing ghosts, consumed by grief and revenge. So is Abby, so is Lev. The driving force for nearly every character is not salvation or rebuilding, it is retribution. And that is the most terrifying truth. Even if a cure existed, the human spirit may have already been infected with hatred, trauma, and disillusionment. Let's entertain the fantasy that Ellie allows herself to be steadied and someone finds a way to reverse the infection. Now what? Infrastructure is gone. There are no planes, no stable government, no mass production capabilities to distribute the vaccine. Factions would likely fight over control of the cure. It could become a weapon, not a remedy. Trust is non-existent. Humanity has become so distrustful and tribalized that uniting them under a common cause could be impossible. As Marlene once feared, Ellie might die in vain. Even she wasn't completely convinced a cure would lead to peace. Ellie is immune to the infection, yes, but not to the collapse of humanity. Her immunity does not protect her from PTSD, from loss, or from watching her relationship crumble. Joel, Dina, Jesse, Tommy, all torn by the world they inhabit. By the end of The Last of Us Part 2, Ellie walks away from everything. She loses Joel, she loses Dina, she loses her fingers, symbolically losing the ability to play the guitar and connect with her past. This final image of Ellie, alone, limping and broken, is the answer to the big problem. Humanity isn't just dying physically, it is already spiritually dead. So when we ask, is Ellie the last hope for humanity? The darker truth may be this: hope is already dead. Ellie is the last witness, not to a rebirth, but to a funeral for the old world, for idealism, for what humanity used to be. Her immunity might be the last scientific miracle left, but it is wasted on a species that no longer knows how to value life. In a world ruled by factions, hatred and endless violence, a cure doesn't mean salvation, it means nothing. And that might be the most haunting part of The Last of Us. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.